Once again, let me apologize for any background noise. I'm doing something a little different, so maybe might be a little bit clearer, I hope, with a little bit less background noise. So these are my observations of the criminal and justice system, at least in 3 different states, in many different counties. Please understand that I'm in a very unique position to be able to see a lot, a whole lot. I'm very dismayed because I'm an American and I believe in due process. I believed in our justice system, and I believed in law enforcement, the criminal system. I mean, I know, I read, I understand that there's been bad situations. I knew about these cases long before this situation happened to me. When it comes to the Manhattan Beach preschool trial, I know about all those things because I've always had an interest in strange psychological behaviors and what makes people, I don't know, criminally insane, those kind of things. Jeffrey Dahmer, Jack the Ripper, those kind of things. I know they seem very gruesome and whatnot, but I mean, when you want to look at the edges, the margins of where it's the worst. The Guyana, the Jonestown incident, these kind of things have always interested me, always. Helter Skelter, all that kind of stuff. Manchurian Candidate, all that kind of stuff. But being in the position that I'm in, I've had a very in-depth background view of what is going on with our criminal system and our justice system, and it's very dismaying. It's absolutely unbelievable. And so what I want to say here is, by not going into all these details because there's so many details, there are definitely background programs that are working that are extrajudicial. They're absolutely illegal through both the criminal justice system and the judicial system, because I experienced that firsthand in Sacramento. It's just unbelievable. I won't go into the details here. But my observation is that if we do not have reform in our criminal system and our justice system, if we do not have reform, we're not going to get very far, especially in the particular climate that our country is in right now. A lot of people that are apathetic, a lot of people that are desperate, a lot of people that are trying to do anything and everything they can to survive through broken systems. These systems are broken. They've been broken for a long time. They ask for more money, law enforcement. They want more money, but they're using the same broken tactics they've been using for 40 years. There's no reform that's attached to the money. And our judicial system is so overweighted that it can't perform properly. There isn't a big city in America where you can get a traffic fine. I mean, some of these cities, like in California, it takes 6 months to show up on their computers if you have a ticket for some reason. So for even simple stuff, there's overweight, but for the very technical things, if you like to watch a trial, a recent trial, to see just how corrupt the state can be in an attempt to prosecute someone, then just watch the Rittenhouse trial. Watch a prosecutor nod his head in a yes nod while showing video and expecting everyone in the room to nod with him and say, yes, we see what you see. And, he couldn't see a darn thing. He was just playing along with his narrative, that he had to fulfill that narrative kind of the ends justifies the means saying. Like, he was trying to create evidence when there was no evidence. Many, many times through the Rittenhouse trial. It's a terrible thing to see. Of course, luckily Rittenhouse won the trial, but when you look at that trial, you'll realize it doesn't matter if you're white or black anymore. If the state has it out for you, they'll just force their hand and lie, which is something I'm definitely experiencing strongly. I mean, understand, there was a string of crimes being committed against me, and then the fire to the house, and basically, from everything that I can see, law enforcement in Santa Cruz was covering up the realities of that fire. At the same time, remember, I did not know that there was a campaign. I knew there was some sort of a campaign against me, but I thought it was the criminals in Santa Cruz. I didn't realize it was a much older, longer running campaign, much nastier campaign being run by my parents and basically jealous friends. I love these people. I hate talking bad about people. But I was having much success. I was doing very, very good. And for these people to come out and say and do whatever it is that they said and did, I knew whatever it was that was being said was bad enough, because the violence that was happening against me, the burglary to the house, the destruction of my business, the destruction of my relationship with my clients, whom I cared about deeply, was just amazing. And then the absolute ignorance, or not ignorance, they were running a narrative. These law enforcement are running a narrative to basically, I believe, protect themselves from their actions, which influence people to act against me in a manner that gave them passes for whatever they may have been doing, gave them passes against anything they were doing to me, including trying to kill me and my dog by setting my house on fire. Please understand, this fire blew up in my face. It could have killed me. It could have killed me, without a doubt. I am blessed. I am blessed not to have been killed. And, but that is also something very intriguing that keeps me holding on to finding out as much as I can, because the American people need to know that law enforcement can make huge mistakes and not take any responsibility for them, but more so, they can play out and build upon that narrative to keep the punishment coming. It is absolutely unbelievable. And the court system was part of part of a ploy in all of this. So please let me let you know, because I'm in this very, very unique position, I have been able to see the inner workings and the background workings, just how deep and far the corruption can go from our law enforcement and from our judicial system. Please hear me. I am not telling you all these stories because I want to listen to myself. These are not about me. This is about trying to open up the door for you to see just how bad things have become, and the bad direction everything is going in. And that my strong suggestion, I've already sacrificed everything, but my strong suggestion is that there needs to be, I guess you call it a grand jury, strong investigation into the practices between law enforcement and the judicial system currently in America, looking back 40 years and making some very, very hefty corrections, along with probably more funding. It will take more funding. But we need good, strong law enforcement. We need to have faith in them. People do not have faith in them anymore. People do not have faith in the courts anymore. We need to reinstall that faith by making major changes. And when I say major changes, I'm not talking about these woke, progressive, complex ideas. I'm speaking of getting back to the basics. What are the basics? And fortifying those basics again. Realizing where the mistakes were made and course correcting those basic tenets so that we can become complex as we go along. But we can't even become complex or progressive right now because we're working already on the basis of basically broken and corrupt systems. So that's my pitch for this morning. I hope everyone is going to have a nice day, or is having a nice day as it is. And we need to get to work because this is going to take a lot of work. And we need law enforcement, and we need court systems, but we need them to be the entities that we believe them to be. Many people think that our court and law enforcement systems are just fine because they're not the ones becoming arrested or getting stuck in these endless cycles that you can get stuck in when you get stuck in court. If they knew more, which more people will learn because they are arresting everybody. Everybody's getting in trouble for something to some degree, right? And all the bad people, seems like the criminals, don't seem to be getting arrested at all, hardly. Things are upside down. They're upside down at their best. Let me not keep ranting. Please have a nice day. And I love America and I love Americans. I want our people to be able to have faith in our judicial system and our criminal system. It is not my attempt to upheave anything, but I am not going to stand quiet while I know that these practices were used on me. There was no stuttering involved. That means these practices have been used and are being used among other Americans. If you have a case that you do the due process, and if you don't have enough evidence, then the person's found not guilty, innocent until proven guilty. That's the way it's supposed to work. Sucks sometimes because sometimes you get criminals that are getting away, but nowadays that's very little of that. But we don't need prosecutors like we have a Rittenhouse prosecutor that I had my public defender basically working for the prosecutor's side. Not just that, he gave me a credible threat. I mean, I was threatened by my public defender. Not about what the case was, about other things. It's absolutely amazing what I know and what I've experienced. I'd be very happy to share that with a journalist. Very, very happy to share those incidents in detail with the journalists so we can get the news out to the people, not just my words as supposedly some sort of disgruntled American. I am not a disgruntled American. I am a proud American. It is sad what's going on. I am taking so many hits to learn everything I can so that the American people can know exactly how broken our system is and why reforming, possibly even restructuring it in a way that actually works is necessary. And when I say this, it's not about more expense and more complex layers. We don't need to cloudy the waters anymore. We need the waters to be still enough to become clear and get back to the basics of what law enforcement is, the basics of what our judicial system is. That would be very helpful. Once again, sorry for ranting a little bit longer than I expected to. Please have a wonderful day. Do not lose faith in our country. Let your apathy start to energize your willingness to work towards improving those around you, improving your own life, keeping your children safe, and living in a country that we all worked hard to bring to a better state for our future. We're in a bad state right now. I don't know if we're coming close to the end of Rome kind of a situation, but there's times when it certainly does seem that way. So please have a wonderful day. Please love your neighbors, even the ones you don't like. Try to be loving to them. And let's take care of each other, not by just sitting around and talking about how bad things are, but starting to come up with ideas on how we're going to make this better. thank you so much, fellow Americans, and anyone else listening to this. And please understand that we can do this. We can make things better. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.